Hello everyone, this is Cianex and welcome to another Longplay commentary. Just a few notes before we actually start out here. There is a link in the description to the video for this commentary. I do not own the footage, I did not make the footage, and I do not have permission to show the footage. However, you can open the link in another tab and watch the video while listening to the sound of my lovely voice. These commentaries are a way for me to express my opinions on different types of games, and while I may be talking about the game, not all material will have to do with the game. Sometimes I may talk about games I'm not knowledgeable about, with my intent being to learn more about them. Please keep this in mind when I talk about certain things during the commentary. I also am not exactly fluent in everything I talk about in general, so don't quote me on anything unless it's insanely smart, insanely stupid, or insanely funny. And with that, let's begin the commentary. Go ahead and pull up the video. I will count down from 3, and when you hear the word go, you start the video. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. All right. God, this this immediately brings back just so much nostalgia. Oh my god. This game came out before I was conceived into this world, but I was born and raised off of Super Nintendo and N64. So this title screen and this game just takes me right back, and this music too. I love it. This and Super Mario Bros. 3 are the two big ones that I played on this game a lot. The Super Mario All-Stars Super Nintendo collection. I actually remember thinking for the longest time that they were these games, that they were Super Nintendo games, and that there wasn't ever like an original. I guess I thought these were the original. Now, I mean, I was a little kid, I didn't recognize that that was different box art and that it says 1985 underneath it or whatever. I was too dumb to know any better, but this takes me right back, man. I love this game. Well, now I should probably be a little more specific. I love this game for the memories that I get from it. I frankly am not a huge fan of the original Super Mario Brothers, but that's mainly because it's pretty dull. But that's like that's old games, and it's the first game in the series or whatever. So I mean, it's not like I don't know. I'm raised off of lots of new stuff and lots of brand spanking new shiny things. I don't know. So that's my own fault. But wait, did that just take him straight to the end of the level? Oh wow. Dang, I did not know that secret was there, and I didn't know that it just took you straight to the end of the level. That's really odd. Huh. Maybe that's how some people are able to speedrun through that first level so fast. So I also, although, as much as I'm kind of like, about the original release of the game, the Super Nintendo version is much better. I like this version a lot more. Mainly for the updated music and visuals. Cause so it's not like every level has the same grass theme. There were like a lot of standard levels with the same sort of grass theme, but then they upgrade it more, because there's those like those night levels, the ice levels or whatever that they added, and then there's like the ones with the castle walls behind it. So they get more theatrical with their presentation, I suppose. Is one way to say it. But it just makes it much more visually appealing. So oh, now this one I know about. This is a secret area that I'm aware of. I just didn't think that there were any secret pipes until this level, World 1-2. So now this run, I'm pretty sure, is a run through every level of the game, which I may regret watching. Yeah, because he's skipping the warp zone. Okay. But I remember, so Longplay commentaries stem from a thing that I used to do with my friends about a year ago at the time of this recording. And we would gather around and we would watch a long play, and we would all talk over it and give our thoughts on it and stuff. See, oh, okay, and then like this level here is like these waterfalls and stuff behind it, which is super cool. I like that. The backgrounds are so much nicer. But anyway, so we did, commentaries over a couple different games, but one of the first ones we did was one for the original Super Mario Brothers, and it bored us all to tears. because of it's not to crap on the original Super Mario Bros. By any means, of course, but it's very, very dull and straightforward and frankly very monotonous in visual and music, which, I mean, this version technically is still musically monotonous because it's just, they remixed the songs, yeah, absolutely, but it still plays them in the same places, so you get that original Super Mario Bros. Theme playing all the frickin' time. But, I mean, it's whatever. I like the, well, it's I don't know necessarily if I like this rendition a little better. The Bowser's Castle theme I like much better in this one. It sounds a little less like noise. Because, yeah, the original Bowser's Castle theme just kind of sounds like a lot of noise to me. I don't know. Although the themes are still, like, good and classic, and I love those old Super Mario Brothers musics. But, I don't know. Bam. I also like how there's actually a visual cue in this game that you can use the fire on Bowser. He's also got the hair in this version. I know when Bowser first debuted in the original Super Mario Brothers, he was a bald turtle. Didn't have his fancy hair. I love Bowser's hair. It's cool in the older games where it's almost like a mohawk of some sort. But then I also know was it at the time of this recording, Mario Odyssey has just come out, and I've been playing the crap out of that game, and I love how, like, smoothed back his hair looks. They took his mohawk looking sort of crazy furled up hair and they combed it down, and it looks nice. Bowser dresses up nice sometimes. This background's a little weird. I'm not sure what those are supposed to be exactly. All these green sausages aimed skyward. I wonder. Also, I love the concept of walking into, like, if Mario was, like, if you were Mario or whatever, and you go down a pipe and you enter a room with your face on it. Like, that would be interesting. I would think. I would also be very confused. Like, what is this doing here? That sounds taken from Super Mario World. Huh. Because this came out in '93, I believe, which is 2 years after Mario World. So, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a good handful of assets reused from Mario World. Although this game does look nicer than Mario World, I think. From a different kind of standpoint. I don't know, because, I mean, not like this isn't cartoony, but Mario World just kind of feels more cartoony, feels a little more vibrant, I suppose. Not to say that this isn't vibrant, because it definitely is. I don't know, it's poor choice of words. But, also, he just hasn't been hit once yet. What is the name of the person doing this run? Let me see. Parazing, interesting, okay. I don't think I've watched anything from you before. Again, since I did long play commentaries like a while ago, I've seen like maybe 5 or 6. But a lot of the ones that I'm doing early on are ones that I did a while back, so I can get those done and out of the way. But this one I haven't actually seen. Again, I saw the original one for the NES, so this is still a different experience to me. But I feel like I'm going to enjoy this a little more because, again, it just looks nicer. More visually appealing, more audioly appealing. I don't know. This level's fun. I always like this one, even in the original. But then they have these. I love the Goomba pillars in the background. Yeah, this crazy cheap bridge level. I think they did something like this in Mario World. I want to say there's a level in Mario World that's sort of similar to this, but I don't immediately remember. Oh, he got hit. When did you get hit? I missed it. You blink for a second and he gets hit. Damn. I think the main reason I like this level so much is because I'm horrible at platformers, because I want to just speed through everything. And this level, it's just like, yes, run, do it. Like, thank you for letting me run without penalizing me for being bad at video games. It's nice. Now, despite my longing to play games quickly, though, I'm still not good at Sonic the Hedgehog or anything, because there's still platforming and stuff in that, and anytime there's any amount of skill involved in any game ever, I can't do it. So, got that going for me. Also, while I'm thinking about it, because I keep seeing areas where Mario can, like, jump up to the top area, I do love how where the score is showed up at the top, or, like, just all the stuff on the black part of the screen where you wouldn't think you'd be able to get to. You can have Mario walk up there and, like, be in front of the score and stuff, and that's really cool to me. There's a different kind of interactivity, I suppose, that you just really wouldn't expect. See, this is nice. I'm pretty sure in the original game, this was just a regular grass level, but this is all, like, snowy looking, and then there's, like, sparkling stars in the night sky, and that's really awesome. Also, you get 50 points for breaking blocks. I didn't know that. It's cool. I like this theme a lot. Again, they took the original Super Mario Brothers and added a lot more. Wow. And they added a lot more to it to make it look nicer. I also just am saddened by the events that transpired there. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah, you can't grab shells in this game. Yeah. Oh, first pair of Hammer Brothers. I hate these things. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone does. Well, of course, dude Perzing over here takes him out with the greatest of skill. Like, it's no problem. I love watching people who are better than me play video games. Partly so I can be reminded of my inadequacies as a gamer, and partially so I can feel like this is what I can become with a little more time and effort, he says as he proceeds to put no more time and effort into anything he does. So nothing's gonna change, but I can pretend like it will. No one-up. Are we doing that? Nope. No one-up. Glitch or whatever. I don't know if that's a glitch. I think it's just it's what would the term be for that? An exploit, probably? Yeah, the one-up exploit. I've never been able to get that right. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, there's the, what is it called? NES Remix? Yeah, that game. Where, there's a challenge in that game for Super Mario Brothers where it's you have to do the one-up exploit with the Koopa, and it took me so long to do that. My timing for that is not good at all. I also just don't... Oh, how did you not? Okay. Impressive. I don't, yeah, no, I can't figure out the timing for that, and I don't know. I feel, I don't remember if it was that I was supposed to, like, move the controller and I didn't, or if I wasn't and I did, or something. But, like, I don't know, my feeble brain couldn't comprehend the whole idea of just repeatedly jumping on top of a Koopa over and over again and not touching anything. I don't know. I'm stupid. It's okay. We all get there sometimes. I'm trying to remember if there were any other, like... Oh yeah, there was one, I think, in that game for, like, the first... Yeah, for 1-1, where you have to get a star and hit, like, 10 enemies or something. I remember that. That was a fun game, NES Remix, except for when it stopped being fun because the challenges got, like, absurd, or it got to games I didn't care about. NES Remix 2 had a lot more, like, interesting games. I think that was the one that had, no, I think the Legend of Zelda was in the first one. Metroid was definitely not in the first one, though. I think, like, because I think the original NES Remix had more of those, like, arcade-style games, because it had, like, Ice Climber and Clue Clue Land. I think Punch-Out was in the second one, maybe? Excitebike was in the first one. Excitebike's a terrible game. I hate Excitebike. It's not fun to play at all. Anyway, back to this game. We're just trucking along through here right now, because this game, it's not like Lost Levels where there's, like, secret worlds or whatever after you beat the game. There's 8 worlds, and then you can play, like, a second quest sort of thing that just replaces all the Goombas with Buzzy Beetles, I think. Which doesn't seem like it'd be that huge of a deal, except it just takes longer to kill stuff. Also, I love the little toad animations at the end of every world and how they get more and more elaborate every time, because that definitely wasn't in the original games. Oh, and here's the introduction of Lakitu. Yay! The Lakitus are much more annoying in the 2D games than they are in the 3D ones. But of course, because much harder to get around those things when you're stuck moving in 2 dimensions. Ooh, oh, this is scary. You can't take the cloud from him in this. Yeah, you can't do that from this one either. Yeah, I think was it 3 or World where you could do that for the first time? I'm not sure. Part of me thought I could first. You could for a second, because I know in the NES style in Super Mario Maker you can, but I know that that's not accurate to how the game works. Because I also am pretty sure in the NES style of Mario Maker you can pick up shells. But actually, that might not be true, because that would require them making another animation for 8-bit Mario, and they probably wouldn't have done that. Shoutouts to that random block there. Probably has nothing useful. Yeah. So this game does only have the 8 worlds then. I know Lost Levels has like, I think, is it like there's a world 9 and then there's world A, B, C, and D or something? Like really weird. Ooh. Don't like those precise jumps. I'm not sure. That game is brutal. I remember of course, since this collection had all 4 of the classic Mario games on it, I ended up playing all of them at some point. And I remember, like most people, I remember hating Lost Levels with a fiery passion, but mainly because I couldn't take a challenge and it was just extremely difficult. Although I think that's why other people hate it. It also has just really bad level design. Like, I remember seeing a playthrough of Lost Levels some, like, 3 years ago, maybe, and, just being like, wow, it's the level design in this game is horrendous. Also, here, another part, there's another warp zone back here. There's one in the first world, and there's one in the fourth world. I want to say there's one also in, like, World 5 or something? I don't know. There's more than 2 warp zones, I know that. But oh, no. There might be one in 7 that takes you to 8. That could be what it is. Because there's one in 1 that takes you to either 2, 3, or 4. And then there's one in 4 that takes you to either 5, 6, or 7. So I think then there's one in 7 that takes you to 8. But I don't immediately recall. This, aesthetically, this is a very pleasing level. I like looking at this. It's very bright and colorful. A lot of whites. But this is nice. See, I think the reason, honestly, I appreciate the I think the biggest thing about the Super Nintendo version of Super Mario Bros. That I appreciate, aside from like everything that they changed in this to make it just better, is the backgrounds. Truly, I could talk about how much I love the backgrounds in this for quite a while. It just makes everything so much better to look at. I think of that more for this game than I do for Mario 3, which is the game I probably have, honestly, the most amount of memories playing on the Super Nintendo collection. But, I think that's mainly because the NES version of Mario 3 is much, like, more unique in what it does. Of course, it's Mario 3 and not Mario 1. Oh, I hate levels like these. This is one of those ones where you have to, like, take the specific path or whatever, and if you take the wrong path, then you have to do it over again. Nope. I hate these ones. Mainly because it's not like they're necessarily difficult, it's just that they're extremely good at wasting time. Because it's just trial and error to find a path that works, and you... Bro, you messed up, it's the bottom one. See, and then like this one, I think it's kind of obvious that it's the bottom one, because that one takes the most amount of effort to get to. Yeah, you have to actually, like, go back, oh man. So, that's kind of the giveaway for that that's the one you have to go, aw, sad face. Jump it, there you go. I think I said this before, but I do like how they actually have, like, a visual cue for when you're throwing fire at Bowser that, like, oh, it does damage to him. Oh, look, there are 4 toads. I wonder how long it's going to keep going when there's going to be one more toad inside the bag. We get to World 7, and they've stuffed 7 toads in there, and they... it's just one massive mess. So, okay, I mean, this guy's getting hit, but he hasn't lost a single life yet. Which is still very impressive. I applaud you, sir. Also, this level is... Ooh. This level is fantastic for 1-ups. Oh, yeah, no kidding. Just chain into enemies. Can you get 1-ups from killing things with stars in this game? I think if you could, you would have definitely gotten it by now. Because I think it's like 8 or 10 or somewhere around that area, I think, in the later games, that you have to kill enough dudes in order to get lives for it. But also normally you do it, and each time you're like the amount of points you get for each kill goes up, and for that it was just staying at the same 100 per Goomba, 200 per Koopa, I guess. So mayhaps not, I suppose. Ah, there it is. You gotta check every block. Oh, this is grimy. Ah, see? And half the time you come in and kill them, like, right when the hitbox for the hammer activates. So it's not even, what the heck, it's a secret water level. It's... That's funny. Secret water level, alright. What was I saying? Yeah, sometimes you'll jump on the hammer, bro, like when the hammer's like on its head right as the hitbox activates, and so you land on it and kill it, but the hammer still hurts you, and that's just really sad. Especially when you're miniature, and then you have like a Dragon Ball Z moment where both of your powers collide into each other, but you die and he dies. Ooh, oh, they get you here. They changed up the jump. I do like how at the end of every level they have that way to get to the top of the pile of blocks to jump onto the flagpole, and then I do like how in the later games that bring the flagpoles back, they actually find unique ways to take you to the top of the flagpole instead of having that every time. Because yeah, after this they don't use flagpoles again until like New Super Mario Bros. I don't think. Yeah, and now they're in a ton more games. Although the flagpole was like the most iconic one, I know, because yeah, it was definitely the most iconic compared to even Mario 3 or Mario World. But yeah, the new Super Mario Bros. Games did it. 3D World did it. They also give you 1-ups in those games as opposed to this one where you just get like a larger amount of points than normal. There was definitely a point I was gonna make in the water areas, but I don't immediately. Oh yeah, it was the like colored of enemies. So I do like how they actually managed to like I suppose it's more of a way to maybe not have to make new enemies, but have them do different things. Because there's like the green Koopas, which will fall off of platforms, and then there's the red Koopas, which will always stay on the same platform. And then you have the green and red Cheep Cheeps, where the red ones move faster and the green ones move slower. But I think the green ones become like different enemies essentially in later games. Because like there's just regular red Cheep Cheeps, and then they become like deep Cheeps or something. I think that was the name from like New Super Mario Bros. Or something. I think the regular red Cheep Cheeps just kind of swam around and did their thing, and then the green ones would actively like pursue Mario and friends, which is kind of wild. Oh god, there's a giant ball of 5 of them. Jeez. I love how Bowser took the time to be like, okay, Mario's gonna reach this world at this point, this world first, this one next, or whatever, so let's stuff this many toads inside of this bag every single time. Oh, we have another Lakitu level. Ah. It'd be so cool to actually play Mario 1 inside the Lakitu Cloud. It would definitely break it, though. I'm trying to remember if you can use Lakitu's Cloud in Mario 3, because I want to say you can, but I'm trying to like think of a specific point, and I can't. Or I'm dumb. Also possible. Probably that. Because what am I? Yeah, you can, can't you? There's some level in like a desert world, I think. Or something. Or no, there's also one in like World 5, I think. The same world with the Kuribo shoe. I don't know. I swear you can, but I just can't remember offhand. It's driving me nuts. It is not important at all, but I just want to remember this pointless trivia. I wish I was aware of it. Oh, I think okay. So the main reason I think they end up replacing Goombas with Buzzy Wheels is not necessarily because it takes 2 hits to kill them, but I think it's mainly because you can't kill them with fire, so it requires you to jump on every enemy in order to kill it, or every like standard enemy. since all the Goombas are now suddenly immune to fire. In which case, okay, I understand now. I like how the in newer games they actually changed the pardon me. They changed the color of the piranha plants from like green to red, so they look less plant-like and they look more monstrous, like more beast-like. I don't know. I guess monster-esque, monster-like would probably be a fair word for it, because they really do. Oh, that was close. They really do just look like plants now with teeth. And then you look to... Honestly, I still think one of the most horrifying depictions of piranha plants would have to stem from how they are in Mario 64, because it may just partially be because of the angles on N64 models, but those piranha plants are vicious. That and like the green lips. Plus, I also like how in those games they're just calm and asleep, and then you sneak up on them, and then they turn into ravenous monsters. They just start lashing around trying to eat you. I love it. Not the part where they try to eat you, but the evolution of Mario enemies over time is really interesting to me. I mean, some don't change that much, and others change a lot. So it's always cool to see that. Because I know like Koopas have become bipedal now, and piranha plants do like everything. Because I know they were originally pipe exclusive, and then in like Mario World they jump out at you and stuff. He grabbed the axe, but like... Oh, that's right. I guess the axe doesn't actually disappear if you kill Bowser with the fire, because you don't need the axe to chop the bridge down to kill Bowser because he's dead already. I also do like how that's an explanation for why Bowser's at the end of every world, because it's not the real Bowser, psych. Which I guess is something that, I don't know, smartass kids playing NES games would wonder, like, why is it that Bowser's still the final boss of the game if you kill him at the end of every world or whatever? So that's my impression of a smart-ass 80s kid. Jesus. The bullet volcano's going crazy. Also, it took me a very long time to realize that, like, classic bullet bills, those white things on the sides that they're waving in this game are arms. I mean, nowadays, it's like, yeah, you see that the bullet bill has their, like, you can't see me, I'm making the motion that the bullet bills make with their arms right now. They have them all out to the side. But, I remember thinking in these games that, oh, they're like bullets with wings, and that's how they fly so far, so straight. Now, it's not how wings work, because they're flapping, like, downwards from the side instead of, like, up and down. It's like, instead of starting at 180 and going to 90, they're starting at 90 and going to 0. I don't know. I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I remember thinking so many weird things about different games when I was a kid. Like, just about a lot of the old games I played, because I never really understood. There was so little about some of these games that I just never understood. A lot of memories in that sense, though, actually stem from, like, Mario 64 and Super Smash Bros. Or Smash Melee, I guess, to be more specific. Because, Melee was one of the first GameCube games I ever played, and I knew nobody in that game except for the Mario characters, and I think I knew all the Pokemon, and that was about it. Yeah, because by that point I played Pokemon Ruby, but I think I knew Pikachu because it was freaking Pikachu. I think I knew Jigglypuff, and I'm pretty sure I knew I knew Pichu and Jigglypuff from the anime. That's what it was. I think that's probably where I knew Mewtwo as well, because I used to watch the anime, like, obsessively when I was younger. Not so much anymore, but I hear it's gotten better, so maybe I'll have to sometime. But anyway, so there were a lot of times where I didn't know where certain characters were from, and I also couldn't understand the concept of, oh, that symbol that appears is their, like, franchise symbol. So for the longest time, I thought, and so in that opening sequence where it's like Captain Falcon is racing against Samurai Goro or whatever and knocks him off the track, and then you unlock Ganondorf and Ganondorf appears right next to Captain Falcon, I thought for the longest time that Ganondorf was that other racer and that Ganondorf is from F-Zero, and that was why Ganondorf and Captain Falcon had the same moveset. As for why Ganondorf looked completely different from Captain Falcon, I couldn't explain that. I was a little kid. I only got so far. But and then I ended up playing F-Zero way later on and being like, oh, Black Shadow. No, they already have Ganondorf in this game. Don't worry. Yeah, that's a fun game. All right, back to Mario. This game is great for going on tangents and just deferring to other topics, because a lot of what is happening is just harder variations of similar things we've seen before. And I mean, I guess that's kind of how gaming is in general, but it's like the original Super Mario Bros. Does that with very little variation, which of course it's an old NES game. But, and I mean, still, for the time when this came out, like, this was probably, well, I'm sure, not probably, it was, like, extremely revolutionary. And I hold this game in very high regards because of that. And, like, I totally understand where the gaming industry was pre-1985 and where it ended up going because of Nintendo and Super Mario Brothers and such. Oh, look at that. Nice. First try. Attaboy. It's another one of these things. Oh, so this one, you have to do it in a sequence of, like, events. Sequence of events. Like, you have to do each one in order, or, ugh. Also, yeah, Bowser starts tossing, oh, dead. Bowser just starts tossing hammers now. I think he only does that in this game. Because they turn him into, what the heck, they're miniature. He's like a large, hammer bro, essentially. He starts tossing hammers. Actually, no, I think he does that in 3D Land or something. I want to say there's a more modern Mario game where he actually tosses hammers again, but I don't immediately remember. There's a lot of Mario games to think about. It's not like Legend of Zelda where it's well, also a lot of Mario games are a little more similar in execution compared to Zelda games. Well, that's not. Well, yeah, no, that is definitely true. Because Mario, it's a much simpler game than Zelda. So, like, comparing Zelda games is much easier than comparing Mario games sometimes. Plus, while there's like 16 or something Zelda games, which sounds like a large number, and it is, there's an unfathomably large amount of main series Mario games. Including, like, all the 2D games, all the 3D games, all that sort of stuff. Pretty sure there's a very large amount. Because, I don't know, I have to count now. I'm not going to come up with an exact number, but there's a large amount, because there's the 4 original games that come on here. That's the original Lost Levels 2 and 3. There's World, there's 64 Sunshine Galaxy, Galaxy 2, 3D Land, 3D World Odyssey, New Super Mario Bros., Mario Wii, Mario 2, Mario U. I'm already at 16. Did I say Odyssey? I probably did. There's no way. Oh yeah, and then the handheld games. Good lord, because then you have Land 2, Land 3 doesn't count because that's Wario Land, and then it goes on from there. Okay, so that's like 18. Never mind. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but still, it's mainly the fact that they're more similar than Zelda games are, so it's a little harder to compare them all. Unless, of course, you're talking about the 2D compared to the 3D, in which case it's like completely different. But still. Oh, just ignoring that one up. Alright, neat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you go too far off screen, the one up actually just despawns and then you don't get it. I can't wait to take a look at the 3D Zelda games, the 3D Mario games. I mean, I can't wait to take a look at the 3D Zelda games either, but there are so many games that I'm just really looking forward to going over and giving my thoughts on, because, oh, Leap of Faith. Well, not really. There's a lot of awesome games that I love playing and I love watching and I love talking about. So, I'm mainly starting with these older games because I want to, like, kind of remind myself about the beginnings of some of these franchises, so then I can proceed from there, like remembering everything about those older games, I suppose. So, which is why I'm starting at Mario 1 and going to be doing a bunch of like the very first games in a franchise before starting with the games that I like know more and have more familiarity with and have more memories with. Like, which is why I'm starting with this game instead of, say, Mario 64, because Mario 64 was like one of my defining childhood games. So I of course have a lot of fond memories of that, and I have a lot of stuff of that. And again, like I played this one as a kid a ton as well, but I was horrible at these kind of platformers. I'm pretty sure in this game the furthest I ever got was World 4, and that's only because you can warp zone over to World 4. I also don't think I ever found out about the warp zone in World 4. But a lot of what I knew from these older games I learned from my dad, because he was the big gamer in the family, and I mean, my mom played Dr. Mario, but that's about it. But my dad played a lot of Super Nintendo and played a lot of N64, and so a lot of the first games I played were from like watching him play games, and then when I started learning how to play games, I started playing what I knew from him, so I like had a chance. And a lot of my favorite games from that era are games that I saw him play and then I played as well. So, and I haven't bought any more SNES or N64 cartridges in that time. Although I have bought a few new N64 games since then, but not really. The GameCube I ended up expanding upon a lot, because my parents bought all the GameCube games that we own right now except for a handful, and those handful are games that I ended up going back and buying. Because for the longest time I had some like weird stigma with buying old games, because it was just like, I have this retro collection of games, this nostalgic collection of games from when I was younger, that it seemed really weird to me at the time to be like, I don't want to buy a new game because then it's like tearing into my retro nostalgic filled collection of old games, which is really stupid. But oh no, I ended up succumbing to it anyway, and I ended up buying new games. Because I ended up, like, I never had Pokemon Stadium for the N64, and I ended up buying that, and then I never had, like, F-Zero for GameCube, and I ended up buying that. Or Mario Tennis, and I ended up buying that. So, also, just the fire in the underwater, this always confused me. Like, they're not even attached to anything either, they're just there. Just to beat obstacles. So, this is the final level of the game. I've talked myself all the way into the final world, and into the final level, and only really talked about the game in the first part. Bam, dead. Easy. And just like that. See, now what was stopping her from leaving? Like, he hopped into that cage, and Bowser just wasn't looking. Aw, he got a hug. And a kiss on the... Ooh, man. Oh, this is a good song. Now try a more difficult quest, she says. Allow me to get captured again so you can play the game on a harder difficulty. Alright, so that is going to be the end of that playthrough. So, I know I didn't talk about it a lot, but my final thoughts here. I really do, like, the original Super Mario Bros. Is such a classic, and I hold it in such high regard. Especially the Super Nintendo version, which again, I think is better in, like, basically every way. It brings back so many good memories of watching my dad play the game, and I love that the Super Mario All-Stars collection. I love every game that's in it, because everything just takes me back to those old days, you know, of failing to understand how a Super Nintendo controller worked and being only barely worse at games than I am now. But yeah, so fantastic game. It was really fun to go back and take a look at it again. There are so many Mario games out there, and I can't wait to take a look at all of them. But yeah, there we are. So once again, thank you guys for checking out this long play. If you have any thoughts, any comments, any recommendations for games you want me to check out, please feel free to leave that in the comments below. And I'll catch you guys for the next one. Take care.